Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and it's time for the weekly pop culture wrap-up. That's right, everybody. Thanks for checking out the video. I am Rockin Robbie Billups. This is the weekly pop culture wrap-up. It's the show where I go over the week's pop culture news, mostly comic books and movies. Let's get right into it. Sandman on Netflix, a TV series. That's awesome. Neil Gaiman's Sandman, Vertigo, DC Comics. Sandman's one of the best comic books ever. It's definitely up there. One of the top 10 comic books, period. Or even top 5 or something like that, right? I'm a big fan of Sandman, big fan of Neil Gaiman, as most of us are in the comic book industry. Really excited for this news. First of all, I think Sandman is something that could really flourish under like Netflix, right? Where you release like 8 to 10 to 12 episodes all at once, you binge in through it, right? Overarching stories, single episode stories, stuff like that. If you've never read Sandman, I highly recommend that you do. It's seriously one of the most sophisticated, one of the most elegant comic books out there. It's a wonderful experience. The only negative thing about Sandman is after you read it, it seems like other comic books, some of them kind of lose their flair for just a little bit. Sandman is absolutely fantastic. And what's even better is that this show is actually going to be showrun by Neil Gaiman along with David Goyer. David Goyer, of course, has done a lot of comic book work before, including he's the writer of the 3 Blade films. Really, there's only 2 of them, though, right? Anyway, David Goyer, Neil Gaiman, so Neil Gaiman's going to have a lot of input on this. Good Omens has been a decent success for Amazon Prime, so of course more people are going to be looking for Neil Gaiman properties to do. You've already got American Gods and now Good Omens, and it makes sense for Sandman to be one of the next ones, right? Sandman's a great book, one of the best. If you've never read it, I highly encourage you to do so. If you have read it, are you excited about this news? Let me know in the comments down below. There's going to be a Gremlins prequel, that's right, 10 episodes, animated series. It's called Secrets of the Mogwai. What's really cool about this is it's written by Shi Shun, who is pretty much the architect of TKO Comics, the writer himself of 7 Deadly Sins, and what's the other one? The Fearsome Dr. Fang, right? So really excited to see this. I'm a huge Gremlins nut. I absolutely love it. This is going to focus on the shop owner and how he first met Gizmo as a child back in the 1920s. So it's going to be really, really fun. I'm really excited to see it. Like I said, I'm a huge Gremlins fan, and there's been all these rumors over the years about a part 3 or a reboot or a remake or something like that. I think this is a good way to go. It's going to be set up for Warner Brothers' new streaming service when that comes out. So be on the lookout for that. Secrets of the Mogwai. It's a 10-episode animated series. It's a prequel to Gremlins. The Little Mermaid has cast Ariel, Halle Bailey. When I first heard this news, I was like, what? That's crazy. Halle Berry as the Little Mermaid? No, it's Halle Bailey, so I'm not familiar with her work. I know a lot of people are up in arms because she is a black woman. That doesn't bother me at all. I think that that's fine. As long as she can perform, as long as she can sing. I hear that she's a really good actor, and I also hear she's a damn good singer. So that's exactly what you need to be Ariel in The Little Mermaid, right? So, I think that's cool news. Knives Out is a new trailer that just debuted that I saw this week. It's directed by Rian Johnson, director of The Last Jedi and Looper. It's got a stellar cast, amazing cast. Chris Evans, Michael Shannon, Jamie Lee Curtis, Christopher Plummer, an amazing cast. It's basically a Clue type thing, a murder mystery whodunit type thing. Looks silly, looks a little tongue-in-cheek. Daniel Craig doing a very Savannah, drawn-out Southern accent. That's always fun, right? Mad Magazine ceases publication. That's sad. It's sad. We just recently got the news that Vertigo Comics is wrapping up, and then of course we get the news that Sandman's going to be made into a TV show. Speaking of Vertigo Comics, that's really cool. Mad Magazine, unfortunately though, it's done. It's ending. So there are like 2 more issues of Mad Magazine with original content. Then it's going to be strictly reprint only and only available to the direct market. So it won't be on newsstands from that point forward. And apparently it will only be running the reprints in order to fill the subscriptions that they already have for the book. Unfortunately, that stinks. It sucks. Mad Magazine was something I grew up on. I loved reading Mad Magazine. I honestly hadn't read it in years. I don't think many of us have, and I think that's part of the reason why they're shutting down Mad Magazine. So it's easy to say, you know, oh, it's so sad, and to lament the loss of Mad, and it does suck, but I grew out of it. I think a lot of us did, and I just don't think it was able to maintain its readership, which I don't know, to me it was always like us young kids that liked Mad the most, but it is sad news. Speaking of cancelizations, The Walking Dead was not canceled. It ended. That's right. Robert Kirkman, if you didn't know already, has ended The Walking Dead on his own terms with issue number 193. It debuted this week. It's a big, thick comic book. We covered it in the weekly comic book review, but AMC also felt the need to let us know that no way whatsoever was the TV show going to be canceled, or the movies that they got planned, right? So I'm sure some people over at AMC were like, whoa, 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 we got to let people know that the show's still on. So if you were worried about that, the show's still going. Over at Boom Studios, we got a couple announcements I want to get into. Heavy Vinyl, an original graphic novel called Y2KO. Heavy Vinyl was a comic book. The first book came out. It was great. It originally came out as Hi-Fi Fight Club, and it's basically what it is. It was set in the 90s. It was about a record store and its employees, and they kind of start their own like version of Fight Club in a way, right? They wound up having to change the name of that book to Heavy Vinyl. It's written by Carly Uzin, I believe. Great book. Fantastic stuff. If you've never checked it out, I highly encourage you to go ahead and check out the first Heavy Vinyl book. But next year, we're getting a new original graphic novel, Y2KO. Very excited for that one. And also a Buffy Angel crossover. We've been talking about it on the weekly comic book review. It's here. We know what it is. It's Hellmouth. That's right. Angel and Buffy meet in a mini-series and a crossover between Angel and Buffy called Hellmouth, appropriately enough. It's written by Jordi Belair, the series writer on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, co-written by Jeremy Lambert, who's co-writing Doom Patrol right now with Gerard Way, and it's got artwork by Eleonora Carlini, recently of the Power Rangers books. So, really cool, excited for this. I'm a big Buffy head, big Angel head, big Hellmouth head. I'm very excited to see what they're going to do. I like what they've been doing under this reimagining of Buffy over at Boom Studios. So that's what we got for you this week. What's coming up here at Pop Culture Philosophers? Tonight, we are doing the live stream. Robbie Rants live tonight, 7 o'clock U.S. Central Time. That's in the p.m. So join us. We'll be talking about comic books, movies, pop culture, and a whole lot more. It's going to be lots of fun. And stay tuned. This week, we got the weekly comic book review. We got some early looks at some books. Got some excitement coming out this week here at PCP. So stay tuned and get ready for it. And be sure to like, share, subscribe, click that notification bell. All that helps support this channel. We really, really do appreciate it. If you want to take that support a little bit further, join us on the live stream or join us over at patreon.com/PCP. where you can help support this channel and the PCP family. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us. Keep on reading, loving, living, all that jazz. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups. Deuces out.